I'm saying to you, the issue of our Black Stars is not only about coach.
It's also about FA administration.
It's about the people managing Black Stars, managing our football.
The appointment of Milovan Rayevak was way out of order. It was outrightly out of order. A coach who had not managed a national team for over 2 years, who had been sacked in 2 or 3 rows for national teams and clubs.
From the last World Cup, for example, if you look at the trajectory of our players, from our goalkeepers to our defenders to our attackers, very few of our players have gone a step further in their career. Number 1, it's Kudus. Number 2, it's Semenyo. But count from the goalkeeper to everybody on the pitch. Somehow they have retrogressed.
Order for high Golden TV GH, Mr. Also subscribe, like, and share, and for me, show na so I de pa. Countryman Songo, Sports Obama, and Yemra, Sannie Daara, and Omweshem good evening Ghana so airport Adom Otchere ni show so. Niente Omweshem nyinaye coach ye pama the national team. This is not the first time. GFA president Kate Baye wafa coaches be brave. Ni nyina ba nso a nyema nkoye. Eno no modi omo adwenkyira ba. Nti ye ncha hono. Mayambonre mni nkwohwe nsema ahodo a yempanyimfo mu omutima bo bill ewo Ghana football na say agokansi adwuma no no omudi atudwa na science am no mayenkone nkwohwe.
Songo, so where are we? Where are we today in Ghana football?
Well, where we are now, we have to get a new coach. That's what we
are speaking to you as well. But are we in crisis? Are we good? Are we halfway? What is it?
Yeah, we are not in crisis, but maybe I didn't want to a very tight corner. But we have to make sure we can get ourselves away from it.
Is it too late? Was it too late to? Are you late?
Yeah.
Are you too late?
It was long overdue to at least change the coach, or maybe maybe for now we need a coach that with a word like somebody who can manage the team, will be the face of the team. Some will be the face of Black Stars as a now they call World Cup, because I mean situation here woman, we don't have much time.
GFA president Kate Okreko say he doesn't regret working with Otto Addo and choosing him over others. What is that now? Who is saying?
That's him. So no opinion.
But he's the decision maker.
Well, I mean, he's not the only decision maker. He's the head. And what has happened? At the end of the day, you understand? At the end of the day, me Black Stars coach, the winning percentages somewhere 30%, 33% there, or 33 point something percent there. I mean, we what has happened to the Black Stars now? Where are we now? Black Stars football. They say I conform. We instead of say we see a quay and a perform. You understand? So only opinion, only the no feel say be still a bit me here, even when we were not able to qualify for the AFCON, where that was the. I mean, baby, I know see Gina to be able to change the coach and move forward. But still, they kept faith with the coach and like, oh, yeah, they never qualifies maybe World Cup in the Quambia, so on in the and yes, we qualify for the World Cup, but how well was the Black Stars? You understand? I mean, how well are we playing? Your game, a conanim and I say conanim. Where Black Stars we are, maybe a 1 year one Africa ranking, top 10, we are not part of it. Now FIFA ranking, where are we? We are going down and going down. So it tells you, say, Black Stars not in conanim, and it's a fact. Recent 2 friendly matches, you say yes. It's like we are just calling players and we are just playing. So we needed to act. But, I mean, there's nothing too late. It's a matter of we, getting somebody obetumi the face of Black Stars, obetumi aye more professional, obetumi ama ye who say Black Stars is playing exciting football. Black Stars obetumi a shock the world, with just few make I say kakakra ye deba call World Cup. We've gotten rid of our coach. Understand? So it's all about we getting the right person to lead Black Stars to the World Cup. For now, that's what we have to do. But I mean, if you tell me that Otto, you don't regret, choosing Otto over most of the coaches, or not say any other coach. That is his opinion. That's what I'm saying. But the results, at the end of the day, is the result that tells. The final thing is about results. And what was the result from Otuado? I mean, it wasn't the best for Black Stars. And we are not seeing Black Stars as the way we want to see Black Stars, how they perform. And I mean, that winning mentality of Black Stars, it is not there. You understand? It's long overdue because Ocean Black Stars are more than 44 years now. Black Stars can't even, get to the semi-finals of the African Cup AFCON. And it's so bad. It's not good in Ghana football. The way we spend our Black Stars, we should get results. We should get something. We are not getting anything. Well, I mean, there's a lot of, even this World Cup, about $30 million we are looking for. FIFA money, the taxpayers' money, are buying the government there, or they my Black Stars, fundraising. I can see a course. Then all of a sudden, these two friendly matches now a test spirit in the society. You understand? But it's because as a nation, I mean, we saw it. You're doing the qualifiers, your ball. It wasn't really the best. It wasn't exciting. And yet Black Stars, no. We have to force our way to qualify for the World Cup. Yes, if you watch Black Stars, I mean, this is not Black Stars. Maybe where we started, by now we all think you drew, baby. All think of Black Stars, it drew, baby. You understand? So it's a matter of we putting our odds together and making sure, say, we will take the right decision by getting a good coach. Then we go to the World Cup and perform, because we are not going there just to, add up to numbers. We have to go there and participate and make sure that we do well, and we also fight for the trophy. That is what we have to do. I don't share that notion where people would come to say that, any realistic, say Black Stars will go to the World Cup and go to the finals or go and win the cup. So what are we going there for? What are we going there for? Are we just going there to add up to numbers? No, that's not it.
I'll come back to you. Let me go to Siddiq Adams. And Siddiq, I'm coming to you because you wrote a post and you were quite surprised that you were reproducing your old post, and you were surprised that Otuado was chosen in the first place because the FA's own criteria for the coach, he had breached it by not being able to qualify for AFCON. And that really shocked you. Do you have the confidence in the same group of FA to select a new coach, or do you get a sense that the new coach is coming from government? Is government going to do it, or the FA group is going to do it?
Well, thank you very much, Paul. I do not have the confidence in any group of people who constitute themselves as an ad hoc committee to bring in a new coach for the Black Stars. I do not have any confidence in them because of the background to the series of appointments they've made and the shocking results, performances that these coaches have chalked, and the way the Football Association has turned out to sack these coaches, pay compensations to them, and behave as if the appointments were made by people outside their group. For instance, the appointment of Milovan Rayewak was way out of order. It was outrightly out of order. A coach who had not managed a national team for over 2 years who had been sacked in 2 or 3 rows for national teams and clubs without going beyond 3 months. It was clear that his 2010 exercise with the Black Stars or Escapade had gone on for him, and there was nothing prosperous with his career. They went in for C.K. Akono. It was a remarkable disaster of an appointment, sacking Kwesi Appiah, sacking Ibrahim Tanko, bringing in C.K. Akono at a time where C.K. Akono was the 3rd or 2nd assistant. It was a spectacular disaster. Then they brought in Otto for the first time as an interim manager, played 2 games, fantastic games against Nigeria for the 2022 World Cup qualification campaign, and matches against Nigeria, matches involving Ghana, Nigeria, is like Kotoko and Hearts of Oak. Form doesn't count. It will be very difficult for any country to go into a game with their arch rivals, and then the results will be based on who has form. We clearly saw in those games, managed very well by Otto, but that doesn't determine the quality of Otto or the top notch of a coach going into such a clash. Otto's second coming, to me, it's something that you will never believe as a football fan, as a fanatic, or even as a sports analyst. First of all, they set a 5-pronged criteria to bring in a coach. The criteria was that the coach was going to be a proven winner. The coach was going to be a coach who has managed at the national or international level for 15 years with top national teams or clubs. A coach who had an identity of managing football at the highest level. And all this, you put the criteria on table and say they are going for Jose Mourinho or Sir Alex Ferguson at best. And Paul, they ended up with Otto, who had no experience, who had never managed international clubs at that level and did not have 15 years of experience. I do not remember any of the criteria that they set that the Otto, qualified for that role. So it means that after setting the criteria of going to bring in a coach of the caliber of Sir Alex, they brought Otto after a manhunt. And Otto failed to qualify for the African Cup of Nations, which was his initial mandate. And to me, the most important mandate for Otto was to qualify Ghana for the African Cup of Nations, which was expected to be a mere formality, because we had qualified for the African Cup of Nations at every edition since 2004, when we failed to qualify, losing to Rwanda in Kigali. For the first time in 20 years, we failed to qualify for the AFCON. And not only that, we failed to win a single game. The first time this has happened to Ghana since our 63 years of football or joining FIFA and CAF. Never have we ever played qualifiers and not win a single game, and ultimately not qualify for the African Cup of Nations. So it was the most disastrous African Cup of Nations campaign we've had. The coach was given a vote of confidence. There was a sign of approval, overwhelming sign of approval by the Football Association that the coach has a quality enough to lead the team into the World Cup. And just a few months ago, Paul, it is most shocking that the Football Association brought in 6 new managers, 6 new coaches to beef up or augment, like they put it, the technical team to help support Otto at the World Cup. So it means that they were very well settled on who was taking the national team into the World Cup. Because to be able to bring in 5 new coaches to augment the coach who was going to the World Cup, you have first of all admitted that the quality of the team is not up there, but you want to support him with pillars or build foundations around him. And these shocks absorbers were going to be the procedural approach that we take into the World Cup. You have a procedure where coaches are making the suggestions, some of them are doing the analysis, and Otto will just be the head coach who leads the team into selection and other things. Just a few months ago, you brought new coaches to augment the team. Now you have sacked Otto with less than 70 days to the World Cup. You are bringing in a new coach who will not have the privilege and opportunity of playing a single game before he names his World Cup squad. And you cannot be taking decisions like that, paying compensation. This is entirely different from managing Dreams FC and Kotoko. This is a national team. And so when the consequence, or this has been the series, spectacular failure of appointment after appointment, it cannot be the order of the day. And I cannot have confidence in a group of people who continue to make terrible appointments, and you repose confidence in them to bring in a new coach. Why would they now go in for a top coach, knowing that they have, I heard the Ghana Football Association president, I read from him saying they are now going for a top-notch coach, a coach who is, so they are now going to, reinvent the wheel and go back to the criteria they set before the appointment of Otuado. So it means that despite qualifying for the World Cup, he was a complete waste of time the whole period.
Well, you are painting quite a gloom picture for the future, the immediate future going into the World Cup. First of all, you don't think that this group of people will make a good appointment. That means Ghanaians should sort of forget about any joy from the 2026 World Cup.
Well, it's too short a time to have a coach come in and build. Paul, to lose 5 against Austria, lose to Germany under the circumstances that we lost, definitely the team's confidence will take a very big toll, a very big blow. If you know about football very well, as you do, Paul, to lose under those circumstances humiliatingly going into the World Cup is going to take a very big toll on the confidence of the team. So the coach who comes in will have to take weeks building the confidence of the players. There is an opportunity, very young squad, but how many weeks do you need to build the confidence and revitalize the team before they get into the next friendly games? The most significant thing about the whole thing, Paul, is that if Otuado had built a structure, the Ghana national team as it exists today has no identifiable structure. That's the most significant thing that we all lose sight of. To go into the World Cup, you may have the quality of players. You may have top players in form. Have your Semenyos, have your Mohamed Kudusus, and have your Inaki Williams. Without a structure, you will be punished by South Korea and Panama at the World Cup, people who have organization. How long does it take to build a structure? A coach will have to take over 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games to build an identifiable tactical structure, an identity. At this point, you do not know what the technical identity of the Blacks is. Are they possessive? Are they a counter-attacking team? Are they a defensive team? You never know what the players are on the pitch. They are just going about the pitch haphazardly. In a very disorderly manner. You watch the Black Stars and you tend to be surprised. Are these the same players who have higher value at clubs in England and France? So you do not have a tactical identity now. In 2010, you could see that Milovan Rajevac would tell the players, you have to recover possession 3 to 5 seconds after losing it. And so all the young players are running. You lose possession, and even the senior players are, if you do not run and you are Muntari, you'll be on the bench. If you are Lai Kingston and we think that you cannot run to recover possession, you will be on the bench. You cannot see that with Otuado's team. No identity. They just walk onto the field, decide to defend from the first minute until they concede the goal, they open up. You do not know whether they are attacking, whether they are defending. And I have nothing against Otuado. From the day he was appointed, we had said, and Countryman Songo will bear me, that the appointment was wrong on all fronts because even the criteria that they have set for themselves, he never met one out of the 5 criteria. So, Paul, I don't think that the time is right to find a coach, and the coach might, even if it is Joachim Low or whoever, he will need a lot of time to rebuild confidence and tactical identity.
Let me come to Ibrahim Sannie, but Songo wants to chip in. Songo, what do you want to say?
It's not just about inviting players, as Sadiq said. It's not just about inviting players. It's about the system behind the players. The system behind the players and how the team can gel, how the team can produce results. So it's not just about you have a coach and you are just, inviting players to come and play for the national team. But it's about the system behind. And the coach didn't have any system. There were no system of play for Black Stars. So that was a big problem for Black Stars, and now it's a big problem for Black Stars because that is why I'm saying that you would need somebody who would come in with that big personality. So to be able to at least take us to the World Cup for us to at least perform. Yeah.
Ibrahim Sannie, let me come to you now. So you know the system, you know the Confederation of African Football, you know the football system. What is going to determine the coach? Is it by recommendation in this short time? How does it work? Are you going to go call somebody, say, recommend a coach for us? Are they going to ask you, Ibrahim Sannie, that speaks to this Moroccan coach for us? How does it work?
Well, given the time we have before the World Cup, we have just about 70 days. Here in the UK, it's already Friday, so we have 70 days to go to the World Cup. You have no time. There's no need to go through any criteria. There's no meaningful national team in the world today that sets criteria before appointing its coaches. You just go, you have a target man you want to speak with, or a coach of certain caliber you want to speak with. You approach the person, tells you your vision, you negotiate the price, you announce the coach. There's no need to go through that laborious process. If we say we are going to go through CVs to appoint a coach, it will perhaps take 1 month. That leaves you with just about 30 days, and you don't have your players in camp anyway. So that's a difficulty. And the difficulty I've always been an ardent believer in Otto Addo. I think we needed to be patient with him. With the way things had gone, I thought they should have been more patient. We didn't have a lot of time. And most importantly, we should have looked at the quality of materials we have. From the last World Cup, for example, if you look at the trajectory of our players, from our goalkeepers to our defenders to our attackers, very, very few of our players have gone a step further in their career. Number one, it's Kudus. Number two, it's Semenyo. But count from the goalkeeper to everybody on the pitch. Somehow they have retrogressed. From Jiku, where was he playing? He was at Strasbourg. He went to Fenerbahce. Now he's in Russia. Ask about all the other players, be it Alidu, Seydou, be it Salisu, be it Salis. All of them had retrogressed. A lot of them. Salisu was playing in Southampton. Today, where is he? He's in Monaco. You'd have expected that in the English Premier League, maybe he had gone to the next stage. So we need to look at the entirety of our squad. Would a coach be able to pull off the magic? I think that the FA had gambled, and it's a difficult gamble. Just hoping that it will just pay off. Joachim Low, one of my websites or my news companies, just broke the news about Joachim Low. Yes, it is true. The FA has gone very far in talks with Joachim Low. And if he takes the job, yes, he's a good coach. He's proven he's a World Cup winner. He's done a lot for the German national team, has stayed there for some time. But it will take some time for him to be able to settle. And that would be a real difficulty. Another thing would also be how much would Ghana be able to afford? Even with $40,000, $50,000 per month, the country was going hoo-ha about the amount of money being spent. Joachim Low will be somewhere in the upwards of $100,000 per month. Some might even say 150,000. Is this something that Ghanaians would accept? These are the mental gymnastics, and I would have preferred a more patient approach to how we approach this. But as we look forward, let's just hope for the best. If it is Joachim Low, the FA has agreed on, if it is headhunting, they have their man, let them pick him and let him hit the ground running for us to have any chance at all. Staying with Otto Addo would be a gamble, but appointing a new coach will be a bigger gamble. But I just hope that it works out.
What about Kwesi Appiah? Everybody is talking about Kwesi Appiah, that he should be the natural choice. No need. You talked about money a little bit. You talked about connection with the players. Joachim Low does not speak Ghana, doesn't speak Twi. He may speak English, But I mean, they then have to develop the body language, the commandery, the social things must be developed very quickly. That's going to take a while. That's making the work longer. We see Appiah walks into it and that's it. No, it doesn't have to build any social capital with the players. He already has it. So shouldn't that be the obvious choice, Kwesi Appiah?
I think so. In fact, that was my first thinking, that it would have been the easiest bit and the safest. Because number one, he ticks a lot of boxes. He knows the players already. He's worked with a lot of them already. He knows the psychology of the team, knows Africa very well, has been to the World Cup and done well and all of that. I would have thought that it would have been the obvious choice. But remember, that apart, some people might also raise an issue of a conflict of interest situation. He's a member of the executive committee. So it's the same body that takes the decisions to hire and fire a coach. Would it be the same, person appointing the coach and be the same person appointing himself? So these are some of the gymnastics. I don't understand, or I've not had an understanding why, the FA opted to speak with Joachim Low instead of Kwesi Appiah. But I would have thought that he would have been in the mix of things. We've had a situation where, for example, he's been asked to step aside from his role to be able to take charge of the Ghana-Sudan game. An arrangement like that could have been had, but it looks like we want to do something different. But I would have thought that would have been our safest bet. Of all the gambles we've made, this Kwesi Appiah would have been the safest of the gambles.
What about Javier Renan? His name has come up. They say it's very expensive, but
Yes, I'm very, very close to the Saudi Football Federation. I do a lot of consultancy work for them. Just yesterday, I had a very phone call from one big Saudi Arabia federation official, and he was really asking me whether it's true that we are interested in him. But the truth is also that it will also boil down to money. He's a proven winner. He loves Ghana. He thinks that Ghana is one unticked box in his football career because he coached us. He left and he desperately wants to come back to coach Ghana. But would we be able to afford what the Saudis are paying him? That is a great difficulty. He's taking upwards of $400,000 to $500,000 per month. Would Ghana be able to afford it? Even with 40,000, our media is shouting, "Why do you have to pay a coach this amount of money?" If you want to play international football and be at that level, we should be able to pay. Would Renan be willing to drop his financial demands to the point that he will beat the Ghanaian demands? It will be difficult, especially in a terrain where he's also wanted by other clubs, other countries, and all of that. So that would be a very, very difficult picking for us. If we can afford it, perhaps it would be a very wise choice, not just for the day-to-day, but also for the future.
Let me do one last round of conversation. So I'll be coming to you, Sidik Adams, on the issue about the players to invite at this stage where we are now. Whether the case of Nketiah and Hansen Odoi and all those is beginning to make look like reality, that we are in crisis, therefore we might need these players. Looking at the games we saw and the quality of the play, are we desperate now for it? But Songo, you wanted to make a comment on Ibrahim Sannie said the players from the last World Cup, if you watch, they went down. And I got some examples. Tariq Lamptey, for instance, he was playing very well for Brighton. He's not there anymore. They say he's gone to Italy. So it's making the point that our players' quality has gone down. Why do you blame Otto Addo?
Listen, if the system is not actively tracking Ghanaian players, they are not tracking Ghanaian players very well, how would you get good players? Better than when you're good players. You won't get it.
No, he's saying that ball 2022 World Cup, perform. That's what he's saying.
But I'm saying that the system should be tracking players. You can't only just put your eyes on only just one or two players. No, Ghana, we have talent. Your talent in the local league. You can't only just rely on the foreign-based players, Ghanaian players that they are born outside. You can't just rely on them. We have Ghanaians who are also playing even in the African leagues. Tanzania, South Africa, Morocco, Egypt, the Egyptian league. They are Ghanaians who are playing there, and they are doing very well. And the whole Ghana local league. Why are they not taking care of the local league very well? Why are they not giving attention to the local league very well? You claim the local league is your property. Uber fair players to the Blasters, you won't get at least 3, 4, 5 local players even there. So why are you running the local league? So you can't just rely on, say, these players are World Cup. So these are the same players that we are looking up to them, say, they will go to the next World Cup, they will go to the next AFCON. No. I mean, yes, but the talents are many. We have plenty players, talent in Ghana. It's just that they are not searching. And I said they are not doing proper scouting. That is what we need to tell them. That is all. They are not doing proper selection, proper scouting. There are many players. We have the talent here. But you can't just rely on players who are born outside the country, thinking that because the good facilities are there and, the Hoya Bruchiri, so these are the players that can only play for Blasters. That is not it. In the past, when Blasters are, Sheila Eliasu was playing, the great Samuel Osei-Kuffour was sitting on bench. Yes, Samuel Kuffour sat on bench. When Sheila Eliasu was playing, Sheila Eliasu was a local player. Habib Muhammad was a local player. He was playing. Aduke Papo was on the bench. Papo was a foreign-based player. You understand? So, I mean, you need to do proper scouting.
Dramani, who scored the winning goal?
Dramani. Yes.
He was a local player.
He was a local
Which club
player.
was he playing for?
He was at Heart of Lions.
He scored the winning goal against the United States in
but how did he
the
get
World Cup game, yeah.
Meaning, so
And he was a local player.
So say Omutua so Omuhwe local league ni ya. And who say the talent in the Ghana ni ya. And won't get to this far or this level. So you can't just rely on players, say Omako World Cup, so you think they have done quite well.
You say that since the World Cup, their standard has gone down.
And that is why I'm saying that we are relying on. How do you rely on these same players? How do you rely on only Paula? How do you? That is it. You have to open up. Proper scouting. That is what I'm saying. So you can scout for you tracking players very well. You are not just tracking some individuals. And then you tracking. You just say you give chance to players whether Obianasi or Nibi.
So there may be a Ghanaian player in Norway, but
they are not giving Ghanaian players the chance. Some Ghanaian players, they are not giving them the chance. You understand? When they have
that's what in the politics of football. We talked about Harrison Affle many years ago. He even went up to become the African player.
When they are not when they don't have any affiliation with you, or when they are not managing you, they just don't want to give you the chance.
So you're talking about nepotism
and those things have to.
That's long term. Now we're talking about World Cup. It's 70 days away. We're trying to see what we should think and how we should behave, and what kind of emotional sentiments we should hold for the World Cup. What you are saying is long term. So let me go and ask about the players now. Siddick Adams, given where we are now in terms of player calls, whichever coach we bring in, if it's not a Christy Appiah, it's not a Michael Essien, because some people have brought a theory up that use Michael Essien and Sule Muntari to assist. If it's not these people who can work and know the system, whoever is coming in will have to rely on advice to name is it 42 or 28 that the World Cup allows? He has to rely on advice to name that. So now, is it, and whoever it is, once he's a football person in Europe, he will most likely have seen Nketiah play, or it's easy to check who he is, and very easy to check who Hansen Odoi is. Is it time for us to concede that these players may be part of the team? I don't know whether Nketiah's injury is ready and he's playing again. I'm not sure about that. because he was injured. But assuming he's okay, how does that situation play out in these circumstances?
Yeah, Paul, I think it's a quick fix decision, or that's a quick fix solution to bring in Nketiah and Kalum Hassan-Odoi and the others, because I think there is also Kamal Sowa, because we are under pressure and we are in crisis. I am completely opposed to the idea of bringing these players, and not because they are not good or not because, but I hold the conviction that these players are not the decision should not be around bringing players to fix the solution in the interim. We need to play well at the World Cup. It's the decision for the coach, but I am opposed in the sense that this is what we have consistently done over the years, and this is the consequence of that. You do not have a squad, and Sannie makes a very remarkable point. And if we want to invite players, we have to go in for the ones that have played the qualifiers. Their form is not in tune. Most of them are not on top form. Some of them are injured. That's right. But to bring in Kalum Hassan-Odoi and Nketiah and people who have rejected the national team blatantly in the past, waiting for opportunity to play for their desired, or where they think that there is a design for them to fall in a top European team or to play for the English national team, and that plan hasn't worked. I don't think that because of the crisis we are in, the country should chip in itself. Not chip in the sense that we now desperately need them, or we can go to the World Cup without them. And that will set the tone for every player to respect Ghana when Ghana comes calling. If they want to play for Ghana, they should be able to play for Ghana in friendly games on the African continent. They should be able to play for Ghana in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. They should play in Maseru against Lesotho. They should play in Yaoundé. They should play in all the tattered pitches that has led us to the World Cup. I do not agree for anybody to go calling the players who we have chased for, some of them, for over a decade, and who have refused to play for the national team. And to end on this, Paul, Sannie says that the players have dipped in form from the last World Cup. And this is very normal with many of the national teams. Watch the German national team and see the new players that have been introduced. Watch all the national teams. It is a practice with most national teams. You are only lucky for a period of 8 to 10 years to have your players, core players, consistently playing at the highest level. But Paul, Ghana has had a blueprint from the 60s to 70s to 80s. And in recent times, at the turn of the millennium, Paul, Ghana's blueprint is that of all the time that we've had our players who have played in top international tournaments having their forms dip, there is a reserve, or there is a stand-in team from the under-20s or under-17s, where 7 or 8 of them will be shipped in. And a classic example is the 2002 African Cup of Nations, where we failed in Mali. And immediately after that, the under-20 team had gone to Argentina. The Derek Boateng, John Mensah, John Pinsto, Adukwe Papo, Razak Ibrahim. And that is where we formed the core of our team that played consistently for over 15 years, the Sule Muntari. So you have a solid under-20 team at all times. This has been Ghana's blueprint. We built a team of these young players from the 2001 World Youth Championship, where Michael Essien, John Mensah, and the players I've mentioned played and were transitioned into the Black Stars when the likes of Same Kofo and others were not in top shape. And they went on to play for the Black Stars, qualified the Black Stars, and played consistently in like 4 African Cup of Nations tournaments. Talk about the 2010 World Cup, when most of these players I've mentioned had their forms dipping. Then you had a very solid under-20 team who transitioned and blocked into the Black Stars. The likes of Dominic Adia, Andre Ayew was benching Sule Muntari, who had earlier also come in to bench. So it is what the Black Stars have been doing. In the last 15 or 10 years, mention a solid Ghana under-20 team. We can't even compete. It's become a business venture. Ghana doesn't have a remarkable under-20 team again. This has been our forte for all these years. Our strength on the continent and in the world has been under-20, under-17. Ghana transitions players and block. So right now, you don't have Tariq Lamptey. it would have been very possible to have a very good under 20 right back player, just like we shipped in players into that team, Samolinkum and co. So if you don't have a good left back whose form has dipped, you have a player who has played in the under 20 African Championship, who is known, who has developed the Ghanaian culture of playing, shipped into the team. We don't have under 20. We don't have an under 17. The conversation has been around the Black Stars. Our football is in complete reverse because it's an inverted pyramid. The conversation is about the Black Stars. And we have forgotten that for many years, when we have top players having their forms dip, we rely on our under 20, the youth teams. Right now, you are going into a World Cup. The conversation is that we don't have top players. Where is the reserve? Where is the youth team? This is what you have consistently done to build your national teams. Why don't we have a very identifiable under 20 team where we can call 4 players, just 4? We used to transition 12, 13, 14 players from our under 17, under 20 to the Black Stars. Right now, we do not have. So the conversation should be about how we get players getting into the Black Stars when those who played in the previous tournament do not have the requisite form to play. We have lost that conversation, and we have to come back to building a very good under 20 from domestic league. And also, Andre Ayew and all these players were products of under 20. Why do they come on to play for years? And now we are going around chasing Kalum Hassan-Odoi. We are going around chasing Tariq Lamptey. We are going around chasing players who have never played for the national team at any level at all. You bring them into the World Cup, they play 4-3 games, they go off, they don't want to come and play in qualifiers. Meanwhile, you have a very good team. You used to have very solid reserve or backup for the Black Stars. And this is what we have consistently done since the 60s, where we had the academicals and all that. They are very well versed in this. Why are we not asking questions about the under 20 team that used to be the backup for the Black Stars? Anytime there is a player whose form has dipped, you can recollect and go back and say there is a good under 20 player who can, transition. Daniel Opari and all those players were from under 17, under 20. We don't have any group of players that we can rely on, both local and international. We don't. Everything is about the Black Stars. $30 million, $40 million. Let's invest in Black Stars. Let's send supporters. But we forget that we don't have players. And we forget that there should be a foundation from which these players will compete adequately at the international tournament. We prepare and put money, $50 million, $30 million, go to the World Cup 3 weeks, come back, and not have a team that we've built from under 17, under 20. No Ghanaian today can mention 2 key players from the under 20 team we've had. They don't even qualify for tournaments, and we don't care. We just jump on the flight, business class, go to Denmark, go to France, look for players who have names, Lucasen, and we don't want to invest. Every nation is investing in their grassroots, investing in the junior championships, investing in players who will transition into their national teams. We are not. We are jumping on flight and going to Germany, going to Europe, searching for players who have names and who have Ghanaian descent. That is not running football. That is not running football, Paul. We are going to struggle at the World Cup. When we come back, we will not have an under 20 team to replace the score because there is not even an under 17 team that we can hit our chest and rely on. But this used to be the Ghanaian identity in the past. Why are we talking about players not having form? Where are the players that we have built home, strong, under 20, 17-year-olds? We call 100 players into the Ghanaian under 15. We did that in 2019. We called over 100 players to build an under 15 team. How many years now? 7 years. They would have been 21, ready to play for the Black Stars. Not even a single one, not even a single player from that under 15 team that we called in 2019 to build to form the nucleus of our junior championships was able to transition. This is how you measure the strength of your football. Paul, today we are 17th, 74 on FIFA ranking, 74th. When Mr. Nyantakyi took over the Football Association after that chaotic transition from Yahoo Tamaklo, when Kwesi Nyantakyi took over in August 2004, That was the lowest we had ever gotten in our football. We were 70th. Today we are 74th. At a point in time, we were 12 on the FIFA ranking. The Black Stars cannot win games because you go around chasing players, Jikuis from here. You put them together like you are preparing soup with crabs. You just pick them. No, there is no culture in the team. We used to be a team. So let nobody talk about players not having form. It is not my responsibility to go and scout. You can cast your net as wide as you can, Paul. But if you cast the net into an empty sea, you catch no fish. Go around scouting. Who are you scouting for? You are scouting for players who have been rejected by the European team. They will not build a player and give the quality ones to Ghana. Unless, and of course, the players have been rejected. And so you are going to take on those who do not make the pecking order for the top teams that you are going to compete against. If Edin Ketia was quality enough, I'm not saying he's bad, England will not let him for Ghana because they've invested in him. Why can't we invest like your predecessor invested in the under-20 championship that built Banahene, that built Muntari, that built John Pencil from Brekum, that built Ajeman Bedu, that built, all these players from the under-20, from even championship in schools. We don't do that. Conversation is Black Stars, 30 million, World Cup, go and blow, come back. Where is your under-20 team to transition to the next Black Stars? You have zilch. It is not running football. Anybody can go around searching for players in Europe.
I think you made a very, very, very interesting, controversial point as well. And you attribute corruption to this state of affairs, don't you?
Of course, this has been the cry of most sports journalists because they are quality players in Ghana, but they don't play for the national team. Before you get a player to play very well for your national team, the player must have developed the culture of playing for the nation, how they react when we lose games. Paul, when Morocco lost the AFCON final to the Penenka penalty by Diaz, you know what happened? There were fans who were commending him. There were fans sending love. We don't do that in Ghana. Our culture is different. The players must develop that from the grassroots, from the under 17. They lose, they know how Ghanaians react so that they don't go on TikTok after they lose games when Ghanaians are crying. Because they don't have the affinity, they don't have the bond. You go and pick them. The corruption in there is that you are picking players who are not quality enough. But because they have affiliation or they have association with clubs that are managed by people who run the FA, want to sell these players and make private money, the players will be called. At the end of the day, they cannot play for the national team because they are not quality enough. But they got into the national team only because they have an association. This is common knowledge. Why is it that the players in your national team now, most of them did not play for your under 17, under 20, but they played for North Zealand. They played for Right to Dream. So it means that Right to Dream are picking the quality players and they will not give it to the national team to play. You have a football camp in Pram Pram, but you cannot build a very good under 15, under 17 team from where in the next 4 years you get at least 4 players to transition. So you can only attribute this to mismanagement, maladministration, and corruption. Because if you have quality players in Ghana, why do they go to Europe to excel when they have not played for your senior national teams? Michael Essien played for under 17. In fact, Paul, Michael Essien played for Ghana under 12. Like Michael Essien, John Mensah, they played for a Ghana under 12 team. Because you identify them early on and they built that culture for the years that they play. When they lose, you feel that they understand the Ghanaianism of football. Unlike Inaki Williams, no issues with him. But this is something you cannot throw away. Football is not just about going. So we should start calling quality players who are playing in the trenches, in the villages, who have no association with football people, who have no association with top executives, who have clubs and who have influence over coaches who select their players into the national team. These players go on and not even qualify to play in Europe because they are not quality enough. But those who don't go through the system, who are identified by private scouts, go on to compete at the top level. Mohamed Kudus is the only player who has played for the Ghana under 17 team in this current squad. And maybe Atizigi. was also there in India. Apart from that, none of them has featured for Ghana's junior team. If you have 50 players and only 2 have come out as a result of your product, and Mohamed Kudus cannot be said to be a production of the FA. He's a production of Right to Dream. They identified him. You have coaches in Ghana, you cannot identify players from the trenches, from the inter-schools. Afanajan and Co were inter-school players, but they didn't play for Ghana under 17.
That's very controversial. Let me come to you, Ibrahim, Sannie, and also the same question. Given the situation that we are in, we have 70 days to go to the World Cup. Our technical bench looks like it's in ruins. If we get Kwesi Appiah, he can fill some gap. But essentially, our player selection is really limited. We can't scout now. We have to pick up players who are willing to wear the Ghanaian jersey and go to the World Cup. The cards that we have as a nation is that we are in the World Cup. And that's the bait that we are giving to a player that we think is a quid pro quo. You have never played for the World Cup. You are not going to play in the World Cup. We have the World Cup. Come and wear the jersey and play for us, because we need to show face and do well. We need to beat Panama. We need to get a fighting chance against England. And today somebody was telling me we need to reduce the goal scoring against Croatia. But no, we need to beat Croatia as well. So really, is it time to say that let's swallow our pride? Nketia, Hansen Odoi, please come on board.
No, I don't. This is where I would agree with Sadiq that I don't buy into that idea. That it's just like, a woman you've been trying to woo for many years. She's looked down upon you for many years. Just because you've made $1 million, she turns up, I'm available to you. As a country, Ghana is not a club side. As a country, we must have pride. People who play for the country. This is a country. It's not a club side. People who play for the country must have love to play for the country. When we lose, they feel the pulse of the nation. When a country loses a football match, so you find very often that a lot of these mercenaristic players would come along just because they want the World Cup. When we lose football matches and we are mourning, we can't eat. We are angry at home. We are angry at our partners. We are angry. The man is angry at the wife. The wife doesn't even want to see a television set again. A footballer doesn't care. He'll just put his head cans on, to hell with Ghanaians and whatever you say. We don't want those types of players. Even if it even takes us to go to the World Cup and lose, we know that we lost with dignity, with our dignity intact. We know that we went there, we did our best, but our best was not enough. Let's not go with people that are opportunistic, that will take advantage of the situation that we've just qualified for the World Cup. And when you call them subsequently, they give you all sorts of excuses when you are to play in DR Congo or in Chad, where in the hinterland of Africa somewhere where the terrain is difficult, that person won't turn up for us, won't matter, won't fill the pulse when Ghanaians are hurting. We don't need those type of players, in my opinion. We need players who will feel the pulse of the nation, who would come and give off their best, who will put in their legs in for tackles. That would save the nation. During the qualifiers that we failed to qualify for the AFCON, the recent AFCON, I saw a lot of it. Against some of the teams, even in Accra. We'll just lose the ball and somebody's just walking as if there's nothing at stake. It's the consequence of bringing in opportunistic players. Let's bring in players that are committed from day one. We've seen it. A lot of the teams. At the recent African Cup of Nations, I was assigned to the group where Senegal was based. And you can clearly see it. Ibrahim Mbaye, for example, is a prime candidate for the French national team. But at the age of 17, he decided he's playing for PSG. He knows by all means that in 2-4 years he will play for the French national team, but decides he wants to play for Senegal. That is a patriot, but not players who, told you, no, I don't need you. Now they are above 26, they are gone past their prime. Now I feel like I'm Ghanaian. We don't need them. Let's make do with what we have. The players we have, let's patch things up. Let's also put them under some level of pressure. Let them also step up to the plate. Those that we have, those that played in the qualifiers, let's select the best amongst them and let's give them a shot at the World Cup. I'm sure that they'll give off their best. In the worst case scenario, it is possible we can win one match, perhaps two matches, and we might get into the knockout stages. It is possible, but let's give the support. Let's put the current players now under pressure for them to deliver. And I'm confident that if they live up to the billing, up to the form we expect them, and they are serious enough, they would be able to deliver something for us. But for the players that want to play for Ghana, who rejected us several times, they should wait after we finish with the World Cup. We can start afresh on a fresh plate in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. That will truly judge their loyalty to the country. But for now, we've called a pool of players over the past 2-3 years for the qualifiers. Let's pick the best amongst them and let's take them to the World Cup.
Well, thank you very much. Let me wrap up now with Countryman Songo. Countryman Songo, what is your take on this matter? You had Ibrahim Sannie and Siddiq Adams were very similar in their conversation. Siddiq Adams also agreed with you that the Black Stars needs to spread out and look for players from all angles and build new team. In fact, listening to him, it really struck me. I've not noticed it. But yeah, we don't have an under-20 anymore. We used to enjoy under-20 World Cup all the time. Ghana was automatic. Yeah. Year after year. I think they played every 2 years or something like that. Yeah. Year after year, we knew that under-20 World Cup. 17 started, went down a little bit. Under-20 was always there. African Cup of Nations under-20. When Professor Mills came, we won one. Yeah. Then we won the under-20 World Cup. Emmanuel Duya, we remember him from under-20 World Cup. He played Augustin Ahimfo from under-20 World Cup. That's where we know them, even before they came to play for the Black Stars. That part of Ghana's football is completely vanished. Yeah. And nobody was watching.
That is why I'm saying that proper scouting. They are not doing proper scouting.
No, he's talking about corruption and favoritism.
Yeah, that is it. If you're not doing proper scouting, you go out there and you see a player that maybe you are not the one managing and you don't want to call the player.
But do we not have an automatic progression from inter-schools, inter-regionals, supers? Ajiman Bedu and Co came from Bonohafo region.
That is
what we didn't even know them.
Yes, I'm saying.
But they were picked from there.
Yes, I'm saying that is what is needed.
But that's why there's RFAs. There's regional FA in every region.
They are not going even according to their plan. When they put the football people, when they put out their plan, like maybe 5 years development plan or whatever, they don't stick to that. Along the line, they just divert. They do things anyhow they just want to. It is how corruption if it is that true, they need to stop because your game it's not going. So now coach only good. Just a normal coach. Psychologically, your players, I mean, they won't listen to you. They can't play, they can't develop. So it's a idea. Say they needed to do the right thing, but they were not. They are just not doing it. That is it. Because anyone okay, under 17, J World Cup that, under 20, J World Cup that. But why is it that now you even qualify and kokra? And when you are telling them they are not doing proper scouting, they are taking omuman kofa, omumu majuma, omun semfata. Because they come and say umako scouting, umako monitor players, umako selection, and they are back. But this selection, the various national teams now, they are not qualifying. Team qualify, umako tournament, grown, team they are boy, and Black Stars. That is the issue here, and they have to stop it. They are big men out there. I mean, it's yemfa coach, you bit man manipulating. Young coaches are you bit me actual players because they are managing football. They think football is manage football. So they are selling players, or they are managing players. They are paying players money. They have to also gain out of it. Even if player near average, he wants to give selection to the player to the national team. Obia oye good na on managing no, and I say player bia oye good ebia onini ni twatwa bi no, he doesn't want to give that player that chance. When football people, when they go into election, na ni obe win no, ni oye ni opponent no, on cash my name that whether good or bad, bit me about football.
And on
Because
you saw on the players.
yeah, because say
on the players.
because on not at the during election, say be I'm person me chairman, person me president. It me winning. Now it's only me and my animal farm ruling. Only me and my animal kingdom. Me opponent now. Ono so ye football ni bina. Ono so ni me tijina no. Or your enemy to me. That is how they do. They go about it. So even that person also manage players. And even that person is the players you good grana. New opponent now will win election. And you obama that chance. It's happening. Our local league in talent. We have players in the local league. Local league in talent. The local boys are suffering. They want chance. They want us to give them the confidence so that they can also perform at the higher stage. But we are not giving the local boys the chance. I'm telling you, the talent is here. Talent, you know what? Talent, you know, I mean, you are talking about we have a pool of players. We should take those pool of players. We should select the best out of them. Players, we are sure women. These players that you are calling them to the national team, these blasters against Austria, against Germany, some of these players who can't even run. Some of these players who can't even control ball and see vision to give him pass. What are you telling me? Division 1 players, Division 1 players. Bia umu and semfata. These days, football, no, talent, no plano. Ayira in a sense, say, when you go out there, that is the foreign world, you know, abrochiro hono. Obia person eba sikaba football, no, to obia eba eco school, no, epon via, wakoto boot, or the neko academy. So some of these players, you can see them say, they have just learned how to play football. Obitimi to Mikano, a pitch panel. You can tell. Nediani say be obitimi to Mikano.
So omun skill.
What me aye cross be a man of them. The skills no in you. But when you have the chance and now when your opportunity no, Ghana now that talent in your local league. You have to develop the local league very well and make sure that the talent will come out from there. They can also challenge the
because talent is always better.
Yes, it is. And we have it.
Plenty.
Since Kwame Nkrumah, we have it. That is why Gigi, African best player, AFCON, Gigi 4 times. Your administrators, your coaches, African football. The late Sam Dudu, Sam Adi, multi-system, by multi-system. We couldn't even follow it. Yentimi Antoaso, Coach Afrani, Yiki Afrani, the late. You understand? So I didn't fear her.
Maybe Malek
they are not just managing it. Yes, Malek Jaber. They are not just managing it well. They are just going into it straight up. Blasters. They are all out there looking for a players because they feel say yes, be free back. That is not the issue here. They need to sit down and do things right.
Okay.
Oh, blasters. Ask yourself, say, from Udie, CK Akono timer, winning ratio was 40%. CK Akono winning ratio was 40%. Udeba, Milovan, 30% and those things. ABC to Adwa. Why should we do that? Why do we do that to ourselves? It didn't know say yes, sir. You ask yourself. When you know very well there are experienced coaches out there, even this Harvey Rena Obonidia Obeye, a physical instructor of Ghana, Blasters. How they call Zambia, Utimi, Eduomu performing. Then from there, he had to come to the World Cup. Look at the lessons that he, or the chair Argentina. This coach, are you okay in Nasemi? These are coaches that will develop here. No more order that you can go out there for them. You are talking about money. The money you spend in this country is kaketwa. One person here, both even blasters, you can take 30 million US dollars, 40 million US dollars to blasters. And what are you expecting? You are expecting a trophy, better performance, good football. Now, what time is can call on us and coach now? How would you make it? How would you make it? You don't just select players, and I'm catching on you don't just select players, you select players based on the system, based on say players no bar. They can play the system, they know what coach that is what you need to do. And they are not doing it. They are not doing I mean, we are just throwing money. Blasters, that's why I was saying to them, say, as much as you are looking at money for blasters, have you looked at the team? This team, some of the guys, they can't make it. They are not there. They shouldn't be playing blasters. They shouldn't be getting a call up to the blasters. Some of these guys shouldn't be getting call up to the blasters. They know very well. Some big men are managing them, or maybe they have affiliation with their agents and football managers. That is why some of these guys are there. Some of these guys, they are not supposed to be there. These first division players, who told you they said they are better than these local boys? Want to catch it up?
Okay, Countryman Songo, they say you should chase those crazy ball heads out. What's your last word? Final word, and we are closing.
Yeah, we should do the right thing. Yeah, we should do the right thing. And
so hopefully we'll do the right thing.
If we are going for a coach, we should go for a coach that has that cloth, that professional touch. A coach that, I mean, our DNA, or bit media, Europe, DNA, and Asabia, the modern day DNA, no swaka, to let us see results from blasters. We should be result oriented. It's not about anything just mediocrity. That is not what we are looking for. You understand? We should be result oriented. And I'm hoping that the government will take the direction now as we are in search for a new coach. At least as much as, I mean, we know football people are the people that would have to make sure that, your football no say be running okay, smooth, and we'll get a coach and that kind of thing. Yes, we know we are not going to push them aside. 5 times they've appointed coach, let me put it that way, this administration. Doesn't mean say it's going to be a government appointee straight up. But we just want the government to take a look at what has happened in the past. They about this level. I 71 days, 70 days, a World Cup. Now we are now in search for a coach. So they should take a clue out of that so that we can at least get something better. And yes, the World Cup by na asakoya another problem. That is not what we want now. That is so they should know what is good for us. They should know what we want, and they should be able to do the right thing. But they should stop that their selfish interest. Interest and some no, they should look at the nation's interest first. The nation's interest and then also so we can get a proper coach. And it is not only coach. Paul, the issue about blasters is not only coach. We are going to sleep. Yes, but I'm saying to you, the issue about blasters is not only about coach.
It's also about FA administration.
It's about the people managing Blasters, managing our football. There are problems also there.
Okay.
That is the issue here. It is almost the same. When they do things right, we won't get to this far, and also we won't get to this level. They should understand that. Omonde appointment, get us a coach. Then, also 15 years experience with all criteria. I will say, I meet Sannie Daara say, this time you go for a coach, you don't just put up criteria and the criteria. Menam de buy. Menam de beto. You free AFCON buy. I will Cote d'Ivoire. And we mudi criteria and beto say 15 years experience coach in Omo Riven. Me na me di criteria and beto. Say more mumunim bo muno. Mona mudi beto. Just to deceive Ghanaians. Sadieni no so mujai. Just to deceive Ghanaians because mudi criteria and beto. If they will be honest to themselves, Omubomu say a lot of coaches are put up that pedigree and they apply. And then Umusa hold the kofa otuado. Now they are also saying say about more than even 600 applicants now, but more than any of the buy now. Do I kim low? Do I kim? Yes, as much as we are looking for an experienced coach on Kuta face, some Yamaka. So be Kuta face, even at the World Cup, and one day in the face of it. And the Amagana send the pressure my boys no small with me and deliver because of the current situation. It doesn't mean say we'll be breaking news and say via drive him low and he fun. What went into it? Drive him low, yes, you won Germany. After Germany, the day in the boy. I mean, drive him low, no. These current players, and no baby before mana. These current players for more Blasters and they kind of crash it. And you money you good. Kakira bi na yade. Bibiri wa bruchiri kwa no mobobo. These current players for more Blasters. I'm telling you. Bibiri bo ni bi na msi wo mobo keke. Wo manyo opportunity wa bruchiri akwa academy ya pon school. Ye papa to buta ma ye akọ. Eni ye bobo. Eni wo mudi bobi. Talent ni ho. So, you proper scouting, proper. I mean, you are just wasting resources. I want me to offer a 2020 technical team. Blasters technical team year 20. 20. It is not about it is not about 6 or 5 assistant coaches.
20.
They would say 5 assistant coaches. They are 20, including a technical scouting, including
set piece
video
coach,
analysis, set piece coaches,
goalkeepers coach, strikers coach.
This is the board they are giving us. This is the board. This is the result of the resources now almost said the keke. Almost taking about 6 months to go out there to look at players in our local league. And me and Nyamba Kokra. Because the local league goalkeeper Benjamin, he was already with the Blasters. And ask yourself, Paul, who are the guys playing short to the goalkeeper or short now? They didn't say the goalkeeper is good, so he should go to the Blasters.
Local league.
So meaning that the guys now no more short, no, they are good players in there. There are good players there. Goalkeeper no no fit. Benjamin Sari no fit and then because we're Benjamin Sari and also because he's keeping goalposts for Accra. That is why they invited him to the national team. Because he was playing very well in the local league. And players been unable to a short, and manage balls now. So those players, where are they? Where are they?
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I need to wrap this up.
Look at this protocol. You want to tell me, say you can't even get 1 or 2 players from protocol? You can't get player from Mediama? What are you telling me? You can't get player from Heart of Lions? What are they saying to us? What are they Paul? Tell me, who share Blasters boys able? Bob Pano who say so high. Local boys, so woman local boys in the chance of women breaking one answer. What are you telling me?
I said, you have to close.
Strike a bill for about 1 2 more theater. 1 2 days before. 1 2 days before. What strike? I don't want to striker.
Okay,
I don't need to mention his name.
Yeah, but it's midnight, so we have to say
So
good night.
you can't get a local player. Move there, 1-2-1 thing to beat Medina, Ediama, and Blasters.
Yeah, we can get a local player, I'm sure.
They should be truthful to themselves.
That was an exhilarating and beautiful discussion. We were sorry have taken so much of your time. Have a happy Easter.